Hey, what's up, what's up? How you doing? How you been? What's going on? What's good? Are we getting it in? Somebody's getting it for you. What's gonna be? What's gonna be for it today? I'm another day. I'm another week called Saturday. Anyway, that being said, what's gonna people? Oh, it's officially going to be a hot day on a Saturday, which is in December. It's officially December the 12th, and it's pretty hot. Everything is hot going on. Anyway, that being said, hope everybody had a safe weekend and everyone is still among us. No one is. Anyway, that being said, we're going to do a prayer for this video right here. Let's do it. Ustuwa. Come on. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. What's going to be, people? I want to talk to you in reference to, I don't know if you know about it, but I'm going to let you know what's going on within the world we live in today of the church. Anyway, the man said, in case you don't know, there's a reverend by the name of Peter Miqueli, and he's 53 years old, and he attends the St. Francis Church, and he's a Catholic priest, and it's allegedly that he's been having sex with an escort. Okay, let me show you what he looks like. This is Peter. Okay, that's the preacher. I'm not going to use you know how I butcher the name, so you have to work with me here. I'm going to use preacher. I'm going to use preacher and escort, because the thing about it is that I don't want to confuse you on the name. So if I just call my titles like people love to do, we're going to call the Reverend Peter, and we're going to call the guy by the name of Keith, and this is his picture right here. Okay, he is the allegedly escort. Now this is the thing that's going on. Okay, let me just read it from my paperwork and we can talk about this. Okay, now the Catholic priest allegedly took money from the church, from the collector's plate, for drugs and the company of the bodybuilder escort. And the escort is the S&M master. And it's a lawsuit going on, this is allegedly, but it's a lawsuit going on, and it's filed at the Manhattan Supreme Court for stealing over millions of dollars where he was working from the collection plate and he was paying for sex. Now this is allegedly. Now, the thing about it is that you're saying to yourself, how would they know this information? Well, guess who blew up the spot? It was the escort's ex-girlfriend. Her name is Tatiana. Check this out. Now, Tatiana and him was in a relationship for 10 years, and what happened was, she's a Jewish girl, and, you know, they would go through, you know, different sexual acts. Okay, she was a Jewish girl, she went with the bodybuilder, which was the escort. Now, let me just take her out the way, and we're just going to talk about the priest, the reverend, and the escort. Now, this is what allegedly what was going on. Now, the pastor was escort sex slave, and he had paid like $1,000 in order to see Keith, the escort. So he would charge $1,000, you know, for bondage, and the preacher would pay for the preacher, the reverend. Anyway, it is what it is. Listen, we're just gonna say the preacher. It's the reverend, the preacher, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, I'm gonna stay focused. The reverend was paid $300 allegedly for scotch, and what happened was, the reverend had a fetish for drinking Keith's piss, his urine. Now Keith allegedly, okay, the pastor allegedly didn't like to drink, you know, Keith's piss, so he would get, you know, so Keith, you know, he didn't like it, but he would do it because he wanted to please the escort. Now the thing was, before they had sex, they would do like a drug. And it's what's called a prescription drug. Now this drug was called Dolan. Now I was trying to figure out what was Dolan, because I never heard of it before. It takes 15 minutes before this drug will go through your system. And what happened was, it's 8 times stronger than morphine. And they would shoot it up into their bodies, you know, to get really high, you know, before having sex, allegedly. Now, This file has been cased on a homosexual sex master. And the preacher, the pastor, has a really huge fetish, and it's disgusting one at that. Now, this is all being brought from, now you're saying, well, how did they find this information? It was the ex-girlfriend who dropped it down. She sent the email to the pastor, letting them know what was going on, the cardinal. Okay, now the cardinal, here's a picture of him right here. Okay, now, the cardinal, Timothy, now, this is it. Now, let me tell you what happened. She sent the email to the cardinal. She was letting him know what was going on with the pastor, and she was letting him know that they've been having sex, and that the pastor had hired the escort to go work in the thrift shop, and he fired somebody that could put the escort inside of the thrift shop to work, allegedly. So what happened was, now that the escort is working inside of the church, anybody he felt like, would probably complain, or, that was there too much, that was like the right-hand man or something in reference to the church, the pastor fired them because he wanted the escort to be in charge of everything. Now, what the escort used to do, allegedly, would take some of the money, and he wouldn't record, in the cells. He would keep the money, and it wouldn't go on the records. Now, inside of this thrift shop, they allegedly made only $50,000 a year, but the records are saying that they probably made a lot more, that it was just not recorded, allegedly. So the thing is that evidently they broke up, and the thing is, the pastor had a fetish. Now this is what he wanted to do. The pastor wanted to have this big fetish that he wanted to do, as far as have sex. Now what he would do is, he wanted to go meet with, the pastor had a big, so he wanted to do with escort. He wanted the escort to meet with him, and they would go to Borough Park in Brooklyn to meet at Hazard Dick section, and the escort would humiliate him in front of a Jewish girl. So he had some type of fantasy, like he would humiliate him, and, it's like, get down, get on your knees. And a little Jewish girl would sit there and watch as he humiliated him in front of the Jewish girl. Anyway, now this drug, prescription drug, would come up to, they said allegedly $60,000, and he bought a home, the pastor bought a home, $264,000 home in Brick, New Jersey, and it would pay for the escort, apartment, which is in East Harlem, and it was like $1,000, except it was $1,075 a month, and this was the East Harlem court. Now the thing is, now we can talk. I just want to make sure I got everything out the way. Now this is the thing. The pastor had a fetish. He used to put on a chastity belt, allegedly, and he would drink, drink the urine, and he would have sex toys, of course, and he would use the sex toys on each other, and the girlfriend, who was now the ex-girlfriend, she would walk in, and the pastor loved her, and she used to watch. Guess what? She just so happened to be a Jewish girl that the pastor always wanted to watch out, outside, but since she was right there in the house, she would come in and he would love it. He always used to like to watch them have sex, allegedly. And she got sick of it, and she got, she was nauseated by it. And the thing is, Keith, the escort, shared too much information with the girlfriend at the time, but now she's ex-girlfriend, and nothing like a woman scorned when she breaks up. And she just emailed it all in. She told the cardinal what was going on inside the church, and for what it was worth is that, as far as the church, they have no really documents in reference to what her claims is. They have no proof of this evidence. So right now it is allegedly. It almost sounds like a woman that's scorned, and she went back and she just found, that she was going to let them know, but it is in court, and it's filed, and it's actually underneath court, underneath homosexual sex master. Okay, now this is the thing that a rule of thumb, the way I see it, if you're in a relationship and you have someone and you're escorting and you're doing something that that's kind of like illegal, stop sharing your information with the person that you're with. If it's not your significant other as far as being married, to me, don't share anything. If you're going to do some illegal shit, you best keep your mouth closed. To me, I feel as though you should set yourself up, because that person that you share the information with can also turn around and use it against you. That's the same thing even with relationships and stuff like that. I always tell people, when you share too much information, that information that you're sharing with them, that you're sharing as with a friend, they will use it against you. And now you're like, oh, now everything I told you, you're going to use it against me, as far as, me telling you, my situation. Now, allegedly, Tatiana is the one who dropped the bomb and sent the email to Timothy and got the ball rolling and stuff like that. Now, the parishioners and everyone feel as though that it's more to this story than meets the eye. They're also trying to say that the cardinal, Timothy, is in on it and he knows about it and he's a part of the whole scam. They said it's been going on for 9 years and stuff like that. But the Reverend Peter, he fell in love with someone. He just paid for it. And the simple fact of the matter was that he used the church's money. And no shade, I hate to say this, but a lot of preachers are doing the same thing. A lot of them. I don't know why people believe that all that money that they give to the church is that these people actually taking this money and doing things that are productive. Now, I'm going to tell you something. They sit up there inside the churches and they say, the gays and the lesbians and they're going to hell. Now, I'm going to tell you what you should do, these pastors and these reverends and stuff. And I'm not saying everybody, because we do have good preachers and reverends and stuff like that. What you need to do, just my opinion, of course, you don't have to listen. There are homeless people on the street. You need to gather up the people in the congregation of the church, get on the church bus, and gather up these people that are homeless. Some people are mentally ill, which I can understand. Some people just can't help. But you need to gather up the people that needs help, that actually wants help. Put them in these churches that everybody's giving this money for, to help people. They are the ones that need help. There are families that are being put on the streets. There are kids out here that are wandering around because their parents have to try to hold them at night, and the kids wander off. Why is that money not going towards them? Why can't they stay inside the church? The church is big. Why can't these kids and these families stay inside the church? You get free meals. You have people that come in that gives and the tithes and the love offering. The thing about it is that you lost focus on what godly duties is, and with the Peter and stuff like that. And I'm not surprised. I mean, I know you're not surprised. We're not surprised about this. And it's a lot more that goes on within the church that we don't know. There's a preacher out there that wanted an airplane. He said that the Lord wanted him to be rich. You need the airplane for what? You need the airplane for what? There are people out here that are homeless. There are people that have no money. There are people that are being kicked off of welfare. But people's like, oh, well, I don't care. You don't care because it didn't happen to you. When the situation is not dropped upon your feet, you don't understand the situation. There are people out here doing so many things that they don't want to do to survive. But, you church people, anyway, it is what it is. That's why I don't go to y'all. I don't go to you. And I'm not saying all of you, but I don't go to you. You take that back there, and I'm going to sit right here. I don't have to go see God, because God already knows my heart. God already knows where I'm at. He knows my address. He knows he wakes me up in the morning, and he puts me down to sleep. So I don't need whatever the rest y'all selling in y'all stores, because the Lord already bought it for me. Anyway, that being said, I want to know, did you know about this? Did you know about this type of situation that was going on? I mean, over $1 million, $1 million. And, it's allegedly, so they have no proof of this. They just go on my hearsay, or, what the girl sent out, a tarnished ex-girlfriend, Anyway, it is what it is. Anyway, hopefully you have a safe weekend. And I want to say, hello, my dog. Meow. I want to say hello, my king. Woof. I want to say hello, new people. Boom. I want to say hello, old people. Bam. And I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I want you to do you. I want you to do the best with it you can. And if nobody don't like it, then fuck 'em.